Welcome back everyone, I hope you're doing well, and in this video, we're going to take a look at a SPAC that has just agreed to a major partnership with the National Football League. This deal has the potential to dramatically expand the company's reach and generate huge revenue and income growth over the next few years. And this company is called Genius Sports. They are a data company that operates in the world of the online sports gambling, which is an industry that has begun to explode over the past few years as more states all across the country begin to legalize these online gambling activities. And in this video, we're going to discuss Genius Sports' new partnership with the NFL, go over the company's current operations, and the potential for some big future growth. But before we do that, I'm going to ask you to please hit that like button and subscribe. I am the Gen Z Investor, and every single day we talk about the stock market, going over different stocks you can buy, and any major market news. So please hit that like button, subscribe for the daily videos, and today we're going to focus on this new SPAC called Genius Sports that currently trades under ticker DMYD, but after the official SPAC merger takes place, the company will trade on the market under ticker GENI, and the deal is expected to close later on in 2021. And the company has just announced that they have agreed to terms with the NFL to become the league's official live data partner. And Genius Sports is going to distribute the live information and data from all NFL games to different sports books and media companies all around the world. And we don't know the official dollar amount of this deal. We're expecting a full disclosure later on in the upcoming months, but this is a great sign to see a young company like Genius Sports take over this partnership with one of the world's most popular sports leagues. And if you've never heard of this company before, they are one of the key players that powers the online sports gambling industry. And right now, they are the official data, technology, and commercial partner that powers the global ecosystem connecting sports, betting, and media. And their technology is currently used in over 150 countries, and they're trusted by over 500 sports organizations all across the world, including the NBA, the English Premier League, FIBA, NCAA, the PGA Tour, and of course now, the NFL. So this company operates as a middleman between the major sports leagues and the actual sports books. And I'm going to use this image to try to explain the entire process as simple as possible. So right now, Genius Sports, we can see, is in the center of this entire relationship. And they have deals with the major sports leagues and the actual online sports gambling companies. And Genius Sports sits in the middle because the company has developed some technology that can take a large amount of information coming from all of the major sports leagues and turn that into usable data that they then sell directly to the online sports gambling platforms, so then these companies can facilitate and do their entire business. So right now the company operates in the middle because they have these official rights deals with the major leagues where then they collect all of that official live information, which is extremely valuable. They use their technology, turn it into useful data that they then deliver to the actual sports books to use in the operations. And as online gambling continues to grow in popularity every single year, the demand for the data coming from Genius Sports is only going to grow as well. And because the company has these official rights deals that are low churn and sticky relationships, it's only going to make the company more valuable, and the cycle will continue to grow as the online sports industry only picks up as well. And in 2020, Genius Sports was named the #1 sports data rights owner in the industry. And some key performance indicators is that for the fiscal year of 2021, they're projecting $190 million of total revenue, a revenue CAGR of around 28%, and they're projecting to cover over 240,000 sporting events over the next year, and that includes the decline we've seen because of the 2020 pandemic. And right now, the company generates revenue from 3 main business segments, which include deals with the actual sports organizations, the data and streaming services, and of course, some deals with the media giants. So if we start off with the actual sports leagues, which include deals with the NCAA, of course March Madness, the NBA, PGA Tour, FIFA, English Premier League, some other big soccer leagues, and now, of course, the NFL. And that makes up around 11% of their total revenue. Then if we take a look at the data and streaming, which is of course a majority of their sales, coming in at 74%, This is what we saw on the chart that shows the entire relationship between the sports leagues and the actual sports books. This is the data that the company is selling directly to some of the largest online gambling websites that operate internationally and within the United States, including DraftKings, Williams Hill, Skybet, Bet365, FanDuel, and many more. And they also have some deals with some of the bigger casino companies like Caesars, BetMGM, BetAmerica, FanDuel, PointsBet, and many more. Genius Sports is also a very interesting company because their role in the entire process is essential, but because they operate on the back end, individuals who use their services may not even realize it. So if you do gamble online and you use any one of these platforms and have placed a bet on any of these major leagues, then you have actually used Genius Sports technology without even knowing it. And going forward, I do believe this company's only going to grow in value from their current SPAC level because online sports gambling data is only going to become more important and more valuable as time goes on. And if we take a look, they have done a terrific job of expanding the amount of sports events that they cover every single year. Back in 2014, they only covered around 1,000 total events in that 12-month span. And that has now grown to over 240,000 events covered in 2020. And over the next few years, Genius Sports has laid out their expected future growth rate of the entire online gaming revenue. So in 2020, for the full fiscal year, they were projecting around $31 billion of gross gaming revenue across the entire industry. And going forward, over the next 5 years, they're expecting that to grow from $31 billion all the way up to $59 billion, and they projected the growth rate of each individual market, and the fastest, of course, being the United States at a 31% CAGR, followed by Europe at around 11%, Asia and the Middle East at 13%, and the rest of the world is projected to grow at 12% per year. So they're going to combine all this growth to get to this $59 billion market expectation by year end 2025, and they're well positioned to grow as the market and industry continues to expand as well. And we can see right now in the United States, which of course is the fastest growing market at a CAGR of 31%, Genius Sports is live in 11 states out of a possible 20. They have submitted applications for 2 more and have begun the pre-application process for the remaining 7. So they are already in more than half of the official states and are seeking approval for the remaining few. And next, if we take a look at the company's actual revenue growth, we can see that back in 2016, they generated a total of $42 million in total revenue, and that has grown 250% to over $145 million in the 2020 fiscal year. And their total revenue is broken down in 60% recurring and 40% from other. And I'm a big fan of companies who have this recurring revenue because it leads to predictability in their growth and their cash flow every single year. And right now, the top 10 customers for Genius Sports only make up around 30% of the company's total sales. So that means at this current level, the company's not solely reliant on 1 or 2 big names to keep the company going. And they have so many different clients and their revenue is broken up very nicely that if they were to lose 1 or 2 of their top 10, the overall revenue is not going to be impacted too harshly. And we can see going forward, they've projected their future revenue and EBITDA all the way up to 2022, and their total sales are expected to grow at 28% per year to $190 million in 2021, and then $238 million in 2022, and then a gross adjusted EBITDA margin of around 29% or $68 million in 2022. And right now, this is an industry that really benefits a company like Genius Sports over the long term because all of their contracts typically range from 3 to 5 years, so you get kind of a predictability of future revenues, and historically, these deals have very low churn. So even after the deals expire, it's more likely that they're going to re-sign with Genius rather than transitioning to a different company because there are a lot of costs associated with making that switch. And at this current level with these deals, they kind of have guaranteed revenue. Because of the fixed minimum guarantee payments that are already written in the long-term deals, the actual predictability of Genius Sports revenue is going to be very easy to kind of evaluate the company's future expected growth and at what level they are expected to be a strong buy. And one last strong point regarding Genius's operations is that the company, in their long-term deals, have them structured so that no customers have access to all of Genius's services for the contractual minimum. Meaning these names and these clients are actually going to have to upgrade to get all of the services that Genius can provide, and their bare minimum does not cover all the platforms that Genius has to offer. And now in this video, we're going to wrap it up. We took a look at Genius Sports as a whole, the online sports gambling SPAC that is a big data company that takes all of the information directly from the live sports leagues and turns it into usable data that it then transfers to the actual online sports gambling companies. So we took a look at the company overview, how they operate, and took a look at their financials and their future expected growth. And of course, this video was inspired because the company just announced a major deal with the NFL to become their official data rights partnership, which I think is going to be huge for this brand over the long term. So let me know your comments down below what you think about Genius Sports. If you own the company, if you're going to buy some shares, or if you've never heard of them before, just give me your overall consensus on the business and if you think it'll be success over the long term. And just remember, you have to do your own research. None of this was financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a random guy on the internet, and we just took a look at the company's investor presentation, and I did my best just to try to share some information, but no advice, no recommendations. Do your own research, and I want to thank you for watching to the end, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.